Thanks, Elia, for the introduction. We would like to begin today's presentation, before we do anything else, with something we call the Shanti Path. The Shanti Path is a peace prayer. It's a prayer that does not seek worldly riches, success, fame, nor is it a prayer for any desire for heaven. It's simply a beautiful Hindu prayer for peace, or Shanti. It's a prayer from the Vedas, which is one of the ancient Hindu scriptures. Back in earlier 2020, BAPS was invited by the White House to participate in the National Day of Prayer. And one of the BAPS representatives was recognized at that prayer meeting, and he shared the following Hindu prayer.
सर्वेत्र सुखिनः सन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात्। शान्तिः अन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिः आपः शान्तिः औषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिः विश्वे देवाः शान्तिः ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिः एव शान्तिः साम शान्तिः एति। शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।
Namaste to everyone. Namaste means I bow to you. The divinity in me recognizes the divinity in you. It is a sign of humility and respect. We will often greet each other by saying Namaste and Jai Swaminarayan. We would like to thank the city of Irving for the invitation and thank each and every one of you for attending. Today, we hope that you all will have a much better understanding of India, Hinduism, the festival of Diwali, and BAPS, your friendly neighbors right here in Irving. We're going to cover 5 broad topics today. First, we'll cover the country of India. Then, the religion and way of life of Hinduism, followed by BAPS and BAPS charities, followed by the festival of Diwali, and finally, how we at BAPS partner with the city of Irving. We'll conclude with a question and answer session. Let us begin by learning about and exploring India. Mark Twain once said, "There's only one India, a country of 100 nations, the one land all desire to see." Let's watch a brief video introduction to India, narrated by Peter O'Toole from the movie Mystic India, an incredible journey of inspiration, which is, by the way, also on Amazon Prime.
It is a place where extraordinary things seem commonplace. There is only one India, Mark Twain wrote, a country of 100 nations, the land of dreams and romance, the one land all desire to see. On a world tour, Twain travelled throughout India. He saw a land of remarkable treasures of human creativity built across millennia. India is a land of colourful customs and fascinating events that are among the largest and most spectacular in the world. Of festivals that enliven the earth and celebrations that paint the sky.
I hope with that video, you have some sense of the diversity and how colorful India is. Let's learn some facts about the country of India first. India is the world's largest democracy. India is the world's second largest populated country with over 1.3 billion, that's billion with a B, people. The capital is New Delhi. The currency is the rupee. It has 1.3 million square miles of area. India is the second largest English-speaking country in the entire world. It's also the seventh largest country in the world and one of the most ancient and living civilizations, at least 10,000 years old. What's interesting to me is that India has never invaded any country in her last 10,000 years of history. The Republic of India operates under a parliamentary form of government. Similar to the US, there are three branches: executive, legislative, and judicial. India became an independent nation not too long ago, actually, in 1947. After ending British rule that began in 1858. Mahatma Gandhi is famous for the important part he played in gaining India's independence. India also has a very diverse geography. Landscape ranging from snow-capped mountains to deserts to rainforests, plains, hills, and plateaus are all a part of India's geography. Having a coastline of 4,300 miles, most of India lies on a peninsula that protrudes into the Indian Ocean. India is bounded in the southwest by the Arabian Sea and in the southeast by the Bay of Bengal. India is divided into 7 geographic regions. They are the northern mountains, which include Mount Everest and the Himalayas, the northern plains, the Indian desert, the Deccan Plateau, the East Coast, and the West Coast. India is not only a land of diversity, but a land of diverse traditions. Let's learn about some of these traditions. Indian tradition has rich cultural values. In India, the young show great respect to the elders. They touch the feet of their elders daily after waking up, and especially on festive occasions or before starting important work. Yoga is another ancient practice that involves certain breathing and postural exercises aimed at uplifting the body, the mind, and the spirit. Meditation is also known as dhyan in Hindi, and it is aimed at focusing inwards instead of the outside world. The Indian way of meditation offers immense health benefits and is quite popular all around the world. Also in India, there exists the concept of a joint family, wherein the entire family, including parents, spouse, children, and in some cases, other relatives, all live together. This is mostly because of the cohesive nature of Indian society. It is also felt that such a family structure helps in handling pressure and stress, whether it's social, emotional, familial, or financial. In India, the saying Atithi Devo Bhava is also integral. It means the guest is equivalent to God. It is a Sanskrit verse taken from the Hindu scriptures, which later became a part of the code of conduct for Hindu society, since the guest has always been of supreme importance in the culture of India. Diversity is also a part of Indian language, or I should say languages. India is home to numerous languages, including Sanskrit, which is one of the oldest languages in the entire world. Other languages such as Hindi are commonly spoken throughout the Indian subcontinent. As India is a land of diversity, different types of languages are found across different places in India. The prominent languages in India besides English and Hindi are Bengali, Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, Urdu, Gujarati, Punjabi, and many more. Even the Indian currency is printed in 15 different languages. It's no secret that India's traditional art holds a place of pride in the world, thanks to its wealth of creativity, vibrancy, and diversity. India and Indian art consists of a variety of art forms, including painting, sculpture, pottery, and textile arts such as woven silk. The major themes of Indian art seem to begin emerging as early as 2500 BC. In India, all art, like all life, is given over to religion. Indian art is life, as interpreted by religion and philosophy. Architecture in India is focused mostly on religious buildings. Many Hindu temples feature very distinctive towers in the form of truncated pyramids and have elaborate ornamentation with hundreds and sometimes thousands of sculptures. The Taj Mahal is world famous. It's an ivory white marble mausoleum on the southern bank of the river Yamuna in the Indian city of Agra. It was commissioned in 1632 by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan to house the tomb of his wife Mumtaz. It also houses the tomb of Shah Jahan himself. The tomb is the centerpiece of a 42-acre complex which includes a mosque, a guest house, and it is set in formal gardens bounded on all three sides by a decorative wall. Let's focus now a little bit on ancient Indian civilization. Ancient civilization of India has contributed so much to the world. The first universities on earth were in India. Chess was first played in ancient India. Ancient Indian civilization created the Arabic numeral system, which we still use today. They are also credited with the discovery of pi during the 9th century BC, inventing the decimal system, and developing the concept and common use of zero. The roots of modern-day shampoos can be traced back to India's Ayurvedic concoction of herbs and oils, which they use to cleanse the hair. The word is derived from the Hindi champo, which means to press, knead, or soothe. Archaeological evidence of a sophisticated toilet system in ancient India suggests that each house had running water, a private toilet, which was connected to a sewage system. The first known mention of the solar system was found in the ancient Hindu scriptures, approximately 3,000 years before Copernicus. The Indian scholars realized that the Earth was not the center of the universe, that the sun had its own orbit, and the existence of other planets orbiting the sun. Diamonds have been mined in ancient India since 700 BC. Let's focus now on Indian Americans in the United States. With a population of almost 4 million, Asian Indian Americans are the third largest group among Asian Americans. 83% have attended some college or attained a higher degree. Indian immigrants are a significant driving force behind the creation of new engineering and technology companies in the United States. It is estimated that of the 7,300 US tech startups, 26% have Indian founders or CEOs. Here are some examples of Indians in the USA. Satya Nadella, who is the CEO of Microsoft. Indra Nooyi, the CEO of PepsiCo. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google. Mindy Kaling, who is an actress. And finally, Kalpana Chawla, who has local ties and was educated right here at the University of Texas in Arlington. She was a pioneer astronaut who made the ultimate sacrifice for her country. It has been said, however, that the most valuable treasure of India cannot be seen at all. It lies hidden in India's silent spirituality, making her a mystic land of meditation, contemplation, and enlightenment. India is birthplace to 4 major religions, including Hinduism, Sikhism, Jainism, and Buddhism. Other religions also exist in India, including Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. India is called a land of diversity. People belonging to almost every faith can be found in India. Hinduism is the largest religion in India. Let us now focus on Hinduism and learn about this ancient religion and way of life.
Question. What do yoga, Gandhi, meditation, karma, and vegetarianism have in common? Answer. Though these are very common words in the Western world, their origin is very much related to the Eastern religion known as Hinduism. Peace is at the heart of Hinduism, one of the oldest religions practiced daily around the globe by over 1.1 billion people. The vast majority of Hindus live in India, but its followers are deeply rooted throughout the world. The central holy texts of Hinduism, the Vedas, capture the peaceful nature of the religion in the popular verse, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May peace prevail everywhere. They also describe the open and inclusive nature of Hinduism in the verse Vasudev Kutumbakam. The world is one big family. Hinduism has no single founder, no single scripture, and no single governing body. There are numerous schools of thought and diverse forms of practice, and therefore Hinduism often remains a mystery to most.
Hinduism is rooted in the Indus Valley, people living around the river Indus were first known as Hindus. Hinduism has many ancient scriptures. One of the most important is the Vedas. They consist of 10,000 plus verses and additional prose. One of the most comprehensive ways to understand the vastness of Hinduism is to imagine a tree. Growing over several thousand years, the limbs and branches are countless, but the evolution stems from a single trunk. The Hindu scriptures teach us that the truth is one, but the wise call it by many names. We have what are called avatars, which are forms of God that exist at various times throughout history for various purposes. We also have what are called devas, or celestial beings, who control the forces of nature and administer the universe according to God's wishes, and thus are held at a high respect. The sacred images at the core of the Hindu practice of Murti Puja, wherein the images are worshipped with prayerful devotion, help establish, express, and enhance a personal and spiritual relationship with the avatars and devas. Hindus believe in the concept of reincarnation. Although the body perishes at death, the Atma or soul continues to live on, experiencing the endless cycles of births and deaths, an endless cycle of pain and suffering associated with life. In short, the law of karma states that outcomes are determined by the action and intent of our choices. Who we are today is a result of the deeds we have done in the past, in this birth or a previous birth. And what we do today will result in the outcomes in our future, whether it's in this birth or a future birth. Hindus also believe that the ultimate goal of life is to attain moksha, the ultimate liberation from the cycles of birth and death. To attain moksha, it is necessary to live according to dharma, which encourages one to behave in accordance with the laws of righteousness and duty as prescribed by the Holy Scriptures. Truthfulness, devotion, service, charity, restraint, selflessness, family, and nonviolence are all at the core of the laws of dharma. One particular dharma, ahimsa, or nonviolence, requires Hindus to respect all living beings, and that's why many Hindus, if not most Hindus, are vegetarian. Beyond religion, however, Hinduism is a way of life. An iconic part of the Hindu lifestyle is the practice of bhakti, or devotional worship. Bhakti can be expressed in many ways, including daily puja or meditation, and rituals offering prayer, chanting mantras, singing devotional music, and dance. A central part of Hinduism is the mandir. Manifestations of God are called avatars, as we learned, and today those sacred images or murtis are present in mandirs all throughout the world. Mandirs are our places of worship. Hindus believe that the mandir is a place where the mind becomes still and man and woman experience inner peace. For centuries, the mandir has remained a hub of life, a community forum where people forget their differences and voluntarily unite to serve society. The mandir functions as a center for learning about man, nature, and God. The mandirs of Hinduism are seen throughout the world, and of course are here also in the United States. BAPS itself has 6 grand and beautiful traditional mandirs made entirely of marble and limestone, as well as numerous additional mandirs, including right here in Irving, Texas. As a way of life, Hinduism is practiced at the individual level, society level, and global level. As you can see on the map here, Hinduism is known throughout the world, mainly concentrated in India. Hinduism has spread to the rest of the world purely by migration, as the concepts of conversionism or evangelism are really absent in Hinduism. At this time, I'd like to share a little bit how I practice Hinduism and just kind of go through some of the daily things that I do to show my respect for our religion and our God. Every morning when I wake up, after showering and before leaving for work, I perform what's called puja or meditation for about 20 minutes. My family and I perform arati every day in our house. Arati is the symbolic waving of a lighted wick in a clockwise motion in front of the murti of God while singing a prayer. It symbolizes the removal of darkness by true spiritual enlightenment. We also regularly attend weekly assemblies and participate in Ghar Sabha. Ghar Sabha is really interesting to me because it's where we congregate as a family in our home and have a spiritual discourse on a daily basis. We learn from each other, and it's a great bonding activity, which gives us parents a chance to also check up on our children. Weekly Satsang Sabha assemblies provide a practical escape from the fast-paced, materialistic environment in which we all live. Let us now transition to learning more about the Hindu organization of BAPS. I think Parashar has some questions for the audience.
All right, everybody. So are you ready for a quiz? We are going to have grades at the end, so if you want to have A+, then you better answer all the questions that we just covered in the previous section that Dr. Janish explained us very nicely for both the culture and the background of India and also on Hinduism. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have any questions, nor there is a quiz, but here I'm going to start introducing BAPS. So I'm going to tell a personal anecdote. At work, I told my colleague that, hey, I volunteer at this organization called BAPS Charities, and we have walkathon, health fairs, etc., every year. And when they Googled BAPS, the first thing that came up, and this is probably 5 years ago, was Broken Arrow Public Schools in Oklahoma. And it confused them, and they came to me and they were like, something's not matching up here. And I said, yeah, that's right. BAPS is not Broken Arrow Public Schools or one of the other acronyms that might exist. BAPS is a socio-spiritual organization about which we will learn more in the next section by Dr. Janish. So, Dr. Janish, do you want to help us understand more about BAPS and not the Broken Arrow Public Schools?
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk about BAPS. The BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha is a spiritual, volunteer-driven organization. It's dedicated to improving society through individual growth by fostering the Hindu ideals of faith, unity, and selfless service. The founder was Bhagwan Swaminarayan, who lived from 1781 to 1830, and it was established in the late 18th century by Pujya Shastriji Maharaj in 1907. BAPS strives to care for the world by caring for societies, families, and individuals. BAPS has a global network. Its universal work through a worldwide network of over 3850 centers has received many national and international awards and affiliation with the United Nations. Today, followers of the BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha believe that Bhagwan Swaminarayan is present on earth through His Holiness, Mahant Swami Maharaj. We believe that the way to gain an ultimate spiritual state of bliss and liberation is through the teachings and guidance of a guru. His Holiness Mahant Swami Maharaj is the sixth spiritual successor of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. You can see him on the screen right now bowing in front of our late Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj, and he's folding his hands in namaste to every one of you. Mahant Swami Maharaj travels throughout the world, inspiring through his insightful spiritual discourses and his virtuous conduct. In fact, many of the leaders of the city of Irving have met and have been blessed by Mahant Swami Maharaj. The BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha advocates a life based on spiritual progression. The objective behind all BAPS activities is to become closer to God, one step at a time. The benefits of taking such steps are readily apparent upon further examination. Mental stability, peace of mind, reduction of stress, and, most importantly, lasting happiness. Spirituality is not an activity or a program, it's truly a way of life. As Hindus, followers of the BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha integrate this belief through different stages of life. The BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha facilitates this way of life for millions of Hindus around the world, again, through its 3850 centers and 1100 mandirs. Its spiritual activities are rooted in the mandirs, centers of faith and devotion. BAPS hosts a variety of initiatives to help Indians stay connected with their cultural roots. As you can see on the screen here, this is the fabulous monument called Akshardham. The Swaminarayan Akshardham in New Delhi and Gandhinagar stand as a testament to the 10,000-year-old culture of the Indian subcontinent and will remain a tribute for future generations. Akshardham literally means the divine abode of God. Timeless Hindu spiritual messages, vibrant devotional traditions, and ancient architecture are all echoed in its art and architecture. Akshardham promotes world harmony and tolerance. Akshardham inspires addiction-free living, values-based and purposeful living. Akshardham explores Hinduism's values and traditions throughout a variety of media, from a large format film to a multimedia water show. And now for the best news of all. A grand Akshardham is coming right here to our home in the United States in Robbinsville, New Jersey. Let us now talk a little bit about BAPS Charities. BAPS Charities is a global charity active in 9 countries across 5 continents. It's truly volunteers that drive our efforts, dedicating a portion of their lives in selfless service of others, both in our local neighborhoods as well as globally. Working in 5 key areas, BAPS Charities aims to express a spirit of selfless service through health awareness, educational services, humanitarian relief, environmental protection, and preservation and community empowerment. We believe that the power to build better communities lies in the very hands of the members of that community. BAPS Charities serves our communities through a variety of programs aimed at improving the lives of our neighbors. This includes walkathons, as well as annual challenges to bring awareness to important causes in the community. Walkathons in the United States and Canada are a key activity our volunteers organize throughout North America in support of their local communities. As you can see on the slides, we had walkathons in 78 locations with over 26,000 participants, benefiting a very wide variety of beneficiaries, including beneficiaries in healthcare, community, education, as well as fire and police departments. With the belief that education is the primary driver of development and progress in the world, BAPS Charities provides extensive support through a variety of programs such as day schools, residential schools, and educational hostels in Asia and Africa. We also host education and training programs to prepare students in communities around the world for the opportunities available to them. Serving as good stewards of the planet is a collective responsibility that BAPS Charities takes very seriously. We try to work to bring awareness to the important environmental issues we face in each community, participating in popular environmental events such as Earth Day, and supporting initiatives such as tree plantings, water conservation campaigns, and promotion of renewable energy sources. BAPS Charities also aims to provide low-cost, high-quality health and wellness services in a variety of innovative ways. Programs such as health fairs and health awareness lectures with a focus on prevention serve as invaluable resources for healthier living. BAPS Charities also supports primary healthcare facilities and initiatives in the developing world to provide quality healthcare for disadvantaged communities as well as the public at large. Let's now talk about BAPS and Hindu festivals. One of the major objectives of BAPS is to observe, honor, and celebrate major Hindu festivals. Hindu festivals are ceremonies that weave individual and societal life to Dharma. It must be emphasized that Hindu festivals are deeply spiritual in nature and celebrate God first and foremost. Hinduism has many festivals throughout the year where the dates are set by the lunisolar Hindu calendar. Hindu festivals are also very diverse. They include celebrations of seasons of the year like Holi, birth of deities like Ram Navami and Krishna Janmashtami, honoring one's teacher or guru. There's a celebration called Guru Purnima, which is a tradition dedicated to all the spiritual and academic gurus. There's a celebration called Raksha Bandhan, which celebrates the bond between family members. In Raksha Bandhan, sisters tie an amulet called the Rakhi around the wrists of their brothers, symbolically protecting them and praying for their well-being of both the brothers and the sisters. The New Year, Diwali, the grand Indian festival of lights, usually lasting 5 days, symbolizes the spiritual victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. Diwali is one of the most important festivals for Hindus. Let us learn more about this important festival and how it is celebrated first locally here in Irving, and then how it is celebrated nationally.
His message of victory of good over evil transcends boundaries of faith, race, class, and creed. Its most famous symbol is the diya, shining brightly and reminding us that light prevails over darkness. The lighting of the diya has also taken on new significance. No longer is it just a gesture requesting God to remove the darkness from our lives, but it also signifies the unifying power of its messages. As Hindus and non-Hindus, believers and non-believers, Indians and non-Indians unite around a diya and light it in unison. For precisely that reason, diyas have been lit across town halls, state houses, governors' mansions, and the halls of Capitol Hill. Since 2015, BAPS has hosted a Diwali celebration on Capitol Hill, bringing together members of both political parties from across the country to focus on the universal values of Diwali that unite us. The House of Representatives is often called the People's House. We are fortunate that in past years, we could make it feel like our home by bringing our traditions, including our mithais and anakut there. This year, it was not possible to celebrate Diwali on Capitol Hill given the pandemic, so we decided.
As you can see, Diwali is a very colorful and vibrant celebration, celebrated not just here in the United States, but throughout the world. Each year in October or November, we celebrate Diwali. So now is when we celebrate Diwali. It is truly the festival of lights. During the holiday, we celebrate again the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, knowledge over ignorance, and hope over despair. Indian families celebrate Diwali over 5 days. The first day of Diwali is called Dhanteras. Dhan means wealth, and on this day, we perform a puja to thank God for what has been given to us, and that we pray to use money wisely. The second day of Diwali is called Kali Chodas. On this day, we light devos or candles and ask God to protect us from evil. The third day of Diwali is the actual Diwali. This is the last day of the Hindu calendar year. On this day, we thank God for the knowledge that He has given us. We ask Him to bless our school books and office books. On this day, families and friends get together and forgive and forget one another for mistakes that have been made over the past year. The fourth day of Diwali is Nuttan Varsh, or New Year. On this day, we thank God for everything that He has given us and pray for health, wealth, and happiness. On this day, we prepare Annakut, which literally translates to mountains of food, and offer it to God as a symbol of appreciation and gratitude. This blessed food is then enjoyed by all members of the family. The fifth day of Diwali is Bhai Beej. Bhai means brother, and Beej means second. This is the second day of the Hindu year. On this day, sisters invite their brothers over for dinner, and in turn, brothers offer a gift to their sisters. This day truly celebrates family unity. There are very diverse and colorful traditions also associated with Diwali that I'd like to quickly go through. Rangoli, which you see in the middle slide, is to welcome Lakshmi, the god of wealth. Many people will decorate their doorways by drawing beautiful patterns on the ground using colored rice, powder, sand, and flower petals. Diya, or an oil lamp, is used to light up homes during the Diwali festival and symbolizes prosperity and optimism. Diwali is a joyous occasion where traditional foods play a big role. And finally, as it is the festival of lights, it's no surprise that spectacular firework displays are held throughout Diwali. Now, as you can tell, Diwali is truly a special time for the year for Hindus. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear what the children have to say. As we know, children are unfiltered, and they say the honest truth.
The most thing that I like about Diwali is eating chocolate. I love fireworks. I like spending time with my sister. I like Diwali to eat sweets, the sparklers, and games. I like spending them with my brother. Lighting up lights and spending time with my family. I like Uncut. Uncut is when and we offer thousands of food to God.
Eat a lot of Indian food.
Eating yummy, yummy food.
What I love about Diwali is all the stories.
Lighting lamps in my house and going to the bounce houses.
What I enjoy most about Diwali is the beautiful bright lights and festivities.
I like to dance. After all, celebrating Diwali is one of the biggest things we do in our Hindu culture. I like fireworks and Happy Diwali!
Yes, Diwali is truly a time at the BAPS Mandirs where it's a community celebration, reinforcing charity, goodwill, family values, and the love of God. We use this time globally, nationally, and locally also to give back. One of the largest initiatives is our food drive. BAPS Charities organizes food drives throughout the country and the world, aimed at helping individuals and families that are less fortunate. BAPS Charities has held several annual food drives locally to fight hunger and help feed families and individuals. These drives have benefited charities such as Irving Cares for the past several years. Let's now talk about BAPS and its relationship with the city of Irving. First of all, just so everyone is aware, we are right here in the city of Irving. We are located specifically at 4601 North State Highway 161 in Irving. You can see the aerial view of the BAPS Mandir in Irving. We're located right next to Gateway Church, is it?
Calvary Church.
Calvary Church, yes. And before we learn a little bit more about the Mandir and the BAPS relationship with the city of Irving, let's hear from the youths of BAPS and how they feel about the Mandir.
My Mandir is my home.
To me, Mandir is a place where I can feel safe.
It's a place where it brings me closer to God, and it's a place where it helps me strengthen my values and beliefs.
Mandir is a place where I can feel at home and at peace.
To me, Mandir is a safe space, a constant in my life. I can always count on Mandir and the community that it's provided to be there for me.
I love Mandir because all my friends go there.
The Mandir taught me the importance of keeping good company, staying true to my values, and prioritizing my faith above everything else.
It also is a place of worship and comfort, and also helps me get closer to my culture and my roots.
The Mandir isn't just a place of worship. It is a place where I can find peace of mind, and it gives me a platform to serve my community.
To me, Mandir is somewhere I can reach my true potential. It's somewhere I can learn about where I come from, the type of person I want to be, and develop new skills that are practical along the way.
Mandir means a place of unity, peace, and unconditional love.
For me, Mandir is a place of happiness, a place of peace, where I can better connect with God, and it means everything to me.
So as you see, the BAPS Mandir in Irving is a special place to everyone. The BAPS community is also an active participant in the city of Irving. As you can see on the slide, we participate in walkathons that benefit local and national charities, a flu vaccination drive, Children's Health and Safety Day, health lectures, and blood donation drives. Many BAPS charities events are done with the support of the city of Irving. It is a synergistic relationship where, most importantly, the citizens of Irving can benefit. Here are some of the things that we do with the cooperation of the city. We seek out the opinion on charities to support directly from the city of Irving. We share the calendar for the upcoming year in November with the goal of serving the entire Irving community. We interact with a wide variety of city departments. As you can see here, we interact with the police, fire department, and all types of various Irving charities. We actively invite leadership within the city of Irving to speak with the BAPS and South Asian community every year at our Sunday assemblies. We recognize the efforts of the city of Irving and its leaders with our spiritual leader, His Holiness Mahant Swami Maharaj, and other senior leaders. We actively and enthusiastically join the events of the city of Irving because we feel that Irving is our home. And Irving is not only home to the BAPS Mandir, all three of us live and work in the city of Irving. Why? Irving has it all, as we all know. Jobs, entertainment, and recreation. Centrally located, Irving continues to attract top talent from across the world. Irving is home to 230,000 residents and a workforce of 3.3 million people. It's truly a keystone city in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Home to 8,500 local and multinational companies, including many Fortune 500 companies, Irving truly does have it all. In the DFW Metroplex, BAPS Charities has contributed about $42,500 for COVID-19 relief efforts. Beneficiaries include the Susan G. Komen Foundation, the Parkland Foundation, Meals on Wheels, Irving Cares, and Brighter Tomorrows. Nationally, BAPS Charities has supported 100 plus hospitals and organizations during this pandemic. We've supplied over 113,000 PPE equipment, 83,000 meals and food packages, and over $180,000 contributed for healthcare and community support. Globally, we've had a similar pandemic response. As you can see on the slide, all continents are involved with a tremendous amount of food and care packages, PPE, and other types of support. As I mentioned, many members of the BAPS local community live right here in Irving. I personally have worked in Irving for the last 18 years at Baylor Irving and Baylor Scott and White Las Colinas hospitals. One of the most enjoyable aspects of my work is getting to know Irving and its people through the stories of my patients. It's amazing to me how loyal Irving patients are. They could go anywhere. They could go to UT Southwestern or downtown Baylor, but they choose to stay loyal to Irving. And to me, that speaks volumes about the city of Irving and its citizens. BAPS Charities and the city of Irving would like to continue this relationship and foster it and deepen it. We want to continue getting involved with the city of Irving. And with that in mind, I would like to invite Mr. Paresh Patel to speak a little bit about the city of Irving and how it relates to BAPS.
Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? You got my voice? Okay, so sorry.
Yeah, you can speak.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much, Elliot and the whole City of Irving leadership. Yes, we have been working since last 10 years. We have been moving from Dallas to Irving, 2010, and since we have a very great partnership with city, and also we have every year we have hosting a different annual event, which our focus is just local city, local citizens, and local community. So and that's way we got a great support from not just only particular leadership, but also our mayor, city councils, city manager. Everyone is going to be supporting on that. Just they guide us where we have to contribute, where we have to support, and we work as a kind of hand to hand. So that's I have.
Thank you.
Sure.
Before we get to the question and answer section, BAPS, and specifically the three of us, would like to thank all of you for this incredible opportunity to share about India, Hinduism, Diwali, and BAPS. Many of you have asked how you can learn more and make Irving a tolerant, diverse, and welcoming community. The great news is you're already doing that by asking questions and hosting events such as this one. Personally, I can recall when I was in college or medical school or whenever I started working, I had so many questions about my religious customs or diet or religious holidays, and I can tell you by experience that pure curiosity is actually very welcoming and becomes the basis of understanding and tolerance. So let's begin with some questions that were submitted, and we'll answer the questions one by one. Finally, we in Irving are one of the most diverse zip codes in the nation. Let us celebrate this diversity and continue to make this diversity and unity our strength. Thank you.
Excellent. So we do have a few questions that we received. Before we get started on that, I just want to again thank Dr. Patel, Parashar, and Paresh for coming out today and joining us with this. That was a great presentation. I really enjoyed it, learned a lot. So the first question that we have, it has a couple parts to it. So what are the 4 goals of Hindu life and how are they applied? And could you explain the hierarchy of the 4 goals? And do the goals apply differently to men and women?
That's a great question. So the 4 goals of Hindu life are also known as the Purusharths. And they include Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Dharma, as we already talked about, is righteousness, morality, values, responsibilities. Artha is prosperity, including economic prosperity. It also incorporates career prosperity and financial prosperity. Kama is love and psychological and emotional values. Moksha, as we already talked about, is liberation and is considered the ultimate goal of life. And these values equally apply to men and women.
Okay, thank you. The second question we received was, can anyone visit the temple? Are there any classes we can attend to learn the etiquette for the temple?
The answer to that question is a big, fat, absolute yes. Everyone is open to come to the temple. Everyone is more than welcome to come to the temple, experience the food, the festivities, the joy that the temple offers. So yes, everyone is welcome to the temple. It is welcome to visitors irrespective of your social or religious background. And we welcome all of you to come visit us once we overcome the pandemic.
Is there a difference in etiquette and tradition for men and women in Hinduism?
The etiquettes don't differ vastly. Women and men pray together. They are separated in the assemblies and in the temple itself, but there aren't any major differences between the way men and women pray. There are certain little things that we can get into maybe at a later session that will help everyone understand the differences. But in general, the women and the men pray very similarly in the temple and outside of the temple.
Thank you. Are there generational differences in Hindu practices, traditions, and/or cultures?
That's a great question. And that's a question that I can relate to as well, because I was born and raised here in the United States. And at our temple or mandir, we see a wide variety of generations. We'll see octogenarians and we'll see newborns. And the differences can be striking at times, but for the most part, we all pray and we all celebrate God the same way. Because the children that were raised in the Western world come from a little bit different culture than their parents may have, we try to relate to them a little bit more. So, for example, the kids at our mandir, they know Western sports like basketball and football, so we try to relate to them in that way, or we try to relate to them to what they're learning in school. On the other hand, the adults that were perhaps born and raised in India, we try to relate to them to things that they knew growing up or are familiar with.
That's a good segue. Our last question that we received is in regards to Hinduism, are there any regional influences in the practices, or is it universal? For example, a temple in the US may have a Western influence compared to a temple in India.
Yeah, as we mentioned several times, India and Hinduism is very diverse, and the way it's practiced is very diverse as well. Generally, the mandir architecture, for example, is based on the traditional scriptures and the architecture that's prescribed by those scriptures. So the traditional temples and mandirs you'll see, whether it's in India or here in the US, for example, we have one in Houston. If you were to visit that temple, it was built according to the exact prescription of the ancient Hindu scriptures, which are several thousands of years old. So that's really interesting. On the other hand, if you were to visit our Irving Mandir, it looks more like a modern building, like an office building that's been specifically tuned to the Hindu mandir and what it entails. So there are variations as far as architecture, and then as far as how it's practiced, it's pretty much similar across all BAPS mandirs and BAPS communities. We have national curricula that we follow, national prayers, international prayers that we kind of follow, and with the internet and information being so easily available, we're able to share that with each other and make sure we're all following a very similar path.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So that's all of your all the questions that we received. And again, I just really, I want to thank y'all for putting this together, all the work that y'all put into this, and for sharing some insight into just the different parts of BAPS and Hinduism, sharing that with us, and hopefully we can do more of these in the future.
Yes, absolutely. Again, thank you so much for having us. Yes. We really enjoyed it, and we look forward to everyone in the city of Irving visiting our mandir right here in Irving. We will definitely see you hopefully once the pandemic is over.
Definitely, that would be nice.
All right. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Hey, thank y'all. Y'all have a great day.
You too.